This isn't anything like my normal content, screw it, this is something I wanted to talk about. SML has been a guilty pleasure of mine for several years now. Now, I know the videos are rarely good anymore, and most of the cast are pretty bad people, but I don't know. I still have a really ironic appreciation for it, I guess. And so today, I wanted to discuss it. For the few people watching who don't know, SML, formerly known as Super Mario Logan, is a YouTube puppet slash plush series created by Logan Austin Thirdacre, featuring such characters as Mario, Bowser Jr., Chef Pee, aka the best character in all of existence, Jeffy, Brooklyn Tea Guy, the better Brooklyn Tea Guy, etc. The series has a lot of crass and offensive humor,
I don't know where Jeffy's at. What's up, Nick?
which got the attention of Nintendo a few years back, who sent them a cease and desist, forcing them to change all their Nintendo characters into original ones. Like Mario, oh, well, too bad he's Marvin now. Oh, you're a Bowser fan? Well, too bad. Now you got Braxton. The series has been going on for almost 17 years now, which is crazy. It's older than me, and a lot has changed over time. They've moved houses 3 times, cast members have come and gone, but, above all, at least the characters have stayed mostly the same at their core throughout all these years. Or have they? Most of the SML cast have been changed and Flanderized quite a bit over the years, and today I wanted to talk about that. So, without further ado, let's get into the Flanderization of the SML cast. Okay, actually, yes, one more do really quickly. While I was writing this script, fellow SML tuber Math Dominus made a video about Brooklyn Guy and the Flanderization he has gone through. Um, Now that, like I said, I was working on this script before I even saw the video, before it even came out. Um, so I just wanted to say, yeah, no, I didn't copy him. But he did do a pretty good job talking about Brooklyn Guy's Flanderization specifically in his video. But I'm gonna go more into depth here, so stick around. But I'll link it in the description if you want to check it out. So yeah. Anyways, now on to the actual real video. First off, we should probably establish what Flanderization is, for those of you who don't know. Flanderization is defined as the process through which a complex fictional character's essential traits are oversimplified to the point where they consume their entire personality. This is most common in long-running series and is often caused by changes in the writing department, with the new writers not fully understanding how to write the characters like the old ones did. The term is named after Ned Flanders from The Simpsons, and he's one of the best examples of Flanderization in media. Ned started off as a foil to Homer, being The Simpsons' stand-up, kind-hearted religious neighbor. But over time, religion became his defining characteristic to the point where he became almost a Christian stereotype. Why did I say almost here? He is a stereotype. A few other examples across media I can list off are Patrick from SpongeBob, who started off as a, well, yes, dumb, almost an older brother-like figure to SpongeBob who could give him advice at times, although his advice wouldn't be very good and would often get him into trouble, to nowadays just being a complete bumbling idiot who can barely walk straight. Peter Griffin from Family Guy, who started off as, well, yes, a dopey, but still well-meaning father figure, to just straight up being abusive.
Oh, God, Meg, you startled me. I'm sorry.
Or Cosmo from the Fairly Odd Parents, who went from loving his wife to hating his wife to just flat out hating women.
We've come for the creature you call Mom!
No! You have a perfect civilization! Why would you want to add a woman to it?
I could keep going on and on listing more examples, but I think you guys get the point by now. So now, how does all of this apply to SML? Well, almost all of the main characters, and even some of the side characters, have suffered from some form of Flanderization over the years. So let's go through them one by one and talk about just how they've all changed, starting with... Let's start with Mario. Did I say Mario? I meant Marvin. Mario is the oldest SML character, technically having his first appearance all the way back in Logan's first ever video, Super Mario Got Milk. Although back then, he wasn't the same Mario that we've all come to know and tolerate today. Jumping forward to the Mario and Luigi Stupid and Dumb Adventure series, Mario became a lot more like his game counterpart, wanting to save Peach, stop Bowser, go on adventures with Luigi, all that. As the series progressed into Season 2, however, Mario became a lot more like how we know him as today, being the straight man to most of the insane antics going on around him. Jumping forward again to when Logan moved into the apartment, Mario stayed relatively the same throughout all the years in between, with the only new huge change to his character being him becoming a hopeless romantic after Peach left him. However, this was changed again once Rosalina was introduced. No. The thing that really seemed to change Mario's character was the introduction of Jeffy.
Oh no! Freeze frame!
Mario has never been the same since Jeffy came along. He lost almost any relation he had to the original Nintendo Mario, other than the very rare instance that Goodman would call him for a new game or something. Mario's whole character just became Jeffy's disgruntled dad, who's always getting annoyed at everything, and as the years progressed, Mario just continued to become less and less like his former self, which peaked when he was turned into an original human puppet. And now, in the modern day, Marvin is just a sad, pathetic guy who just wants a break from life. His only 3 character traits are angry, horny, and annoyed. Honestly, Mario, Marvin, whatever you want to call him, is honestly just kind of sad to watch now, and out of everyone I'm going to talk about today, he's the character who has truly become most of a shell of his former self. Since Junior, Joseph, and Cody have always been a trio, I figured it'd be fitting to talk about them together in the same section. Plus, they all kind of, like hinge on each other, so yeah. Junior started out as just a dumb little whiny 5-year-old brat who annoyed Chef Pee-Pee, and really nothing more, but when he became more popular and started appearing in more videos, he got more fleshed out and started to gain more personality traits, such as liking Thomas or being extremely naive. He would occasionally do or say something kind of fucked up just for like a light bit of shock humor, be like, kind of like the same vein as South Park, where it's like, oh look, this little kid, he just did something that a little kid wouldn't do, haha, funny. But it wasn't all he was. It wasn't his whole character yet. However, eventually over time, this would become his whole character, and him saying and doing fucked up shit was just all he was. Nowadays, he's a borderline abusive psychopath to his friends who can be more brain dead than Jeffy at times. He's like an Eric Cartman without any of the charm. Next is Cody, who went from the smart, nerdy kid who would build machines and invent things, and who just so happened to be gay and like a Ken doll, to him being gay being his entire personality, which was only worse than when Timmy was introduced. However, thankfully, Logan has been using Timmy and all the other Huckledoos a lot less recently, which has really helped Cody be much less of a stereotype. Still though, Cody, ironically, played the straight man to Junior and Joseph's antics, and would often try to at least keep them grounded. He was the yin to their yang, but now he has just as many stupid, brain-dead moments as they do. Lastly is Joseph, who was the naive, poor kid with the dead mother, and Junior's best friend and right-hand man, to nowadays just being black stereotype number 7,943. It's pretty sad seeing how these 3, especially Cody and Joseph, fell from grace. I mean, Cody was my favorite character at the time, but now he's like C tier. But yeah, these 3 were all pretty funny and good characters at their prime, so it's kind of sad to see how they've fallen off. There's already a pretty good video on how Brooklyn Guy is changed by the YouTuber Ray Rants, as well as the one in the intro I mentioned by Math Dominus, so I won't go too into depth here. If you want to see those videos, I'll link them in the description. And yeah, I lied about how I was gonna go super into depth about Brooklyn in the intro. Yeah, what you gonna do about it? Yeah, fight. Anyways, to make this brief, Brooklyn was kind of the everyman of SML, which I guess was shown by him having every job. He was one of the more serious, smarter, and deadpan characters, and he would occasionally have a stupid moment just to be like a, little funny out of character thing. You wouldn't expect a character like him to do something like that. But nowadays, all he is just a big, stupid man-child who can barely even do any of the 10 million jobs he has. He'd rather just dick around and be gay with Marvin than actually do his work.
Think you can go to bed all caked up like I ain't got a sweet tooth? Like I ain't trying to get a cavity?
I always thought I might be bad, now I'm sure that it's true.
And he often wastes time in videos with pointless Nintendo animations. Brooklyn Guy is probably the character who's been hit with Flanderization the hardest and the worst, which is sad because I know he was a lot of people's favorite character. He went from the funniest character and the saving grace of a lot of bad videos, one of the highlights of the channel, to just now being an annoying, smug nuisance and basically just Logan's mouthpiece.
Hey,
Oh, what are you doing here?
your son is gonna poop in this container, and I'm gonna eat it.
What the? Polly is pregnant? The frick is this? 3 children?
Jeffy is a strange case because while yes, he has been Flanderized, I'd actually argue he's one of the few characters who's been improved by it. In early Jeffy videos, Jeffy was a dumb, slow-talking, very obvious stereotype of a mentally disabled person. He didn't understand very basic concepts and words, he had trouble using the bathroom on his own, and he would constantly scream and break things. He also used to cuss a little bit, but it wasn't a huge thing or anything. Not something he did all the time, up until around 2018-ish, when screaming and cussing pretty much became his whole entire personality, with him often going on long-winded tangents, just cussing out Mario about random things. Many people attribute this change to being the main reason that the main SML channel got fully demonetized, and yeah, probably was. It makes sense when you consider how popular Jeffy became, especially among younger children, but nowadays, however, Jeffy is much less of a stereotype, and honestly, he's just kind of a man-child now who's just kind of slightly naive. He's not even really all that dumb anymore, he's just really gullible and likes fucking with people, but he can competently do a lot of things on his own, like drive and stuff, for example, which he wouldn't be able to do in previous years. Like I said, this is actually one of the changes I honestly prefer, because Jeffy's much less of a stereotype now, and I mean, honestly, it kind of feels like he's growing up, which, I mean, he is. We've watched all his birthdays since his 12th, but, I mean, like, it's kind of nice, honestly. It feels like we're watching this character grow up, which I think is just kind of cool.
Gibbity goggle fuck.
This video is getting pretty long, and I've already gone in depth into everyone who I wanted to go in depth on, so we're just gonna speed run these last few characters, and I'm gonna really quickly talk about their Flanderization, so let's go. Bowser slash Braxton, yes, I know the new name is stupid, went from Junior's abusive father to basically just Junior's neglectful father, because he basically doesn't exist anymore because you almost never see him in videos. Mr. Goodman went from the funny, slow-talking news anchor and a parody of Mr. Mackey from South Park to just like a rich douche who annoys Marvin and talks about nothing but eating nipples and wanting to cut off balls and Blumpkins. Rosalina slash Rose went from Marvin's dumb yet still caring wife to being just actually brain dead and always taking Jeffy's side in everything, even when she knows he's in the wrong. Chef Pee-Pee went from the best character ever created in the history of the universe ever to just being yet another black stereotype, and also like a really like horny loser for some reason, and just like a total hopeless romantic. I don't know why. I mean, hey, Chef Pee-Pee, if you're looking for romance, I mean, hey, I'm always open. I mean, over here, you know, I'm always open. We can have a good time, you know. I could call you Chef Pookie.
Celebrate! Bang me, Pee-Pee!
You know what?
What?
No.
Black Yoshi slash Dougie went from, well, I mean, yeah, pretty much just a black stereotype. Yeah, pretty much every black stereotype ever was just his character, which, and like, it still is kind of today, but now he's just more of like a whiny brat who just kind of annoys Mario and asks him for things. Like, the thing of him saying, Mario, please, is just kind of all he is now. He's lost all his edge. Now he's just a whiny little guy. You know, I'm starting to notice a little bit of a pattern here, Mr. 30 Acre. I could go on and on and on and on for hours listing off more characters and how they've changed over the years, but at this point, I think you get what I'm trying to say. So now that we've established just how all the characters have been Flanderized, the only question left to answer is why. Why have these characters changed so much over the years? Why are they different now? Earlier in the video, I said that Flanderization is usually due to changes in writers, but SML has had the same people working on it for the majority of its lifetime, plus the series has never even really been written. Logan says that pretty much all the ideas are just like they just kind of come up with one rough idea and then just kind of improv their way to the end. So how did this happen? Well, the reason that I think at least is due to the change from the Nintendo plushies to the human puppets. So and hear me out on this one. When Logan first made the human puppet designs all the way back in 2019, it was because he was worried about how Kappa was going to affect his channel. Logan believed that since the human puppets were his own original characters and not family-friendly ones like the Nintendo characters, he could make them do or say whatever he wanted without having to worry about YouTube striking him down or Kappa or anything. Now, I'm not fully sure why he thought this. I mean, but it's not like his channel wasn't already mostly watched by the kids. Whatever. That's neither here nor there. Point is, since the characters were now fully original and fully owned by him, he believed that he could get away with more mature content in the videos. And I mean, I guess he was right in a way because the new channel is still up and the videos are worse than ever now in terms of more adult content. So, I mean, I suppose he was right, but that's at least why I believe characters like Junior became meaner, why stereotypes became more prevalent, etc. And now, slowly but surely, the characters' personalities are changing more and more the more adult content Logan attempts to get away with in the videos. I know there's probably nothing we can do about it now, but Logan, if you're somehow watching this, first of all, hi, big fan of your work. And secondly, maybe try to take a step back and look through some of the older videos and see how the characters acted and what worked for them and what made them likable and funny. And maybe try to bring back some of those traits from the newer videos or something. I don't fucking know. I'm just some dumb kid on there. You don't gotta listen to me. I'm just some dumb little stupid thing on the internet who just made this piece of shit you just got done watching. So thanks for watching this thing. I'll be back eventually with another video. Yeah, hope you enjoyed. Subscribe. Bye.
April Fool's, folks!